on the team, therefore one of the most experienced. So that was Red 1's voice calling for the team to roll. Zane's the lowest aircraft we can see now. He's not only rolling with Red 1, he's pitching forward, he's back on the throttle, and he's using lots of right rudder to maintain that formation position. So it's difficult, but the pilots are quite a long way from Red 1. And in those positions, it's generally considered it's the most difficult to maintain your formation position accurately. So again, we put the experienced pilots in there. We keep the new guys a bit closer in. And one of the new guys this year, in his first year with the team, is Red 2, just to the left of the neck of the Swan as we look at them now. So here we are then, Swan pulling up. Red 2, sitting just to the left of the neck of the Swan, is Chris Lyndon Smith, known to us as Smythe on the team, one of the team's former Tornado GR4 pilots. Smythe was born in Kitwe, Zambia, but he grew up for the first 10 years of his life in South Africa, between Cape Town and Johannesburg, and I presume he spent many of his days wrestling white rhinos on the Kruger National Park. So right now he's moved forward to make the front right wing, the fright wing, if you like, as I seem to have coined the phrase, of this formation, which is called Typhoon, named after the Royal Air Force's newest fighter aircraft, the Eurofighter Typhoon. So you hear the words there, and roll. He emphasises the word roll, and on the R of roll, all of the pilots put in their control inputs, and that's how we fly a perfect Apollo twister. And I told you we were patriotic, or if I didn't, we are. And here's some beautiful red, white, blue over the beaches of Bournemouth as you see the Apollo twister. Fly the second half of this manoeuvre, the lowest aircraft that we can see in the back left of Apollo formation there is Red 5, and Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Kirsty Stewart. Kirsty's the first ever female Red Arrow pilot. Girls, you can give her a cheer. She's in her second year with the team this year. Yeah, and a round of applause, why not? She's in her second year with the team this year, and she was inspired to become a pilot by her father. 5, roll to the back here and make eagle formation as they pull up at 4G. So as they go over the top here, Red 1 twists the formation and they reach a mile above us there. And the aircraft that's nearest to us, at the back left of that formation, or the top left of that formation as we see them, is Red 4. And that's Flight Lt Jon Egging, the second of our new pilots on the team this year. We call him Eggman. He's never been very good at nicknames in the Air Force. And he joins us from the Harrier Force. Red 3 flies just to the left-hand side of the leader, so just to the right of him and slightly below him as we look at them now. And Red 3 this year is the final of our new pilots on the team this year, Flight Lieutenant Sean Cunningham, another Tornado GR4 pilot. His frontline service is completed with 617 Squadron, the famous Downbusters Squadron, now based in our Sean was also born in South Africa, like Smythe at Red 2. Although we don't think they ever crossed.
Two there, look.
Well, you can certainly hear the pilots are enjoying it. And there's the path 3, making the path split. But we're left on the right-hand side, just switching on his smoke, Red 6. That's Flight Lieutenant Dave Montenegro over there, known as Monty, and born in Bogota, Colombia. He's the synchro leader this year. Chasing him down on that side is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Zane Sennett. Remember, Zane's on Cupid. On the left-hand side with his smoke on is Red 7. Red 7 is Benjamin Flank. He's known as Flanky. That's him with his smoke on there, coming down to 100 feet. And behind him is Red 8, Dave Davis, from North Wales. Together, these 4 aircraft are known as Jippo, and this is the Jippo Pass. Introducing themselves to you with the Jippo Pass. Now on the left-hand side there, white that's Monty again, synchro leader. He's now with Red 7 making up the synchro pair, and he's about to call a turn reversal in this, the Cyclone. That's the turn call. They're going to cross right in front of us. So synchro finished one manoeuvre and they hand over to the left-hand side. Now Horse is lining up with Enid from the right in a manoeuvre called the Goose. He pulls up vertically 7G here. We get the red, white and blue smoke on again. Very British. As he watches the Goose. So it is red 8, Horse, flying vertically there. Horse is a former Tornado F3 pilot. That's one of the aircraft that used to provide the UK's operational air defence and that of the Falkland Islands before being replaced by the Typhoon. And on the left-hand side there's Enid in a steep climb. We call 100 miles an hour closure here. They're going to pass just 35 metres from each other in a manoeuvre called the Carousel. Here they go.
Watch it.
Now Monty is on the left-hand side. It's his job as the synchro leader to fly a steady 6G turn here. Clanky, crossing him now, switching to blue smoke, has the job of avoiding him. So he's not only pulling 6G, he's got his beady eyes right over there on red 6 to make sure they get this, the carousel, just right. Here's the final pass.
That's like that.
Learning when synchro finishes, or Jippo finishes, they hand over to Enid. Now Enid are running in from, you see that smoke come on, they're in Vixen formation, red 1 to 5. They're going to pull up shortly. So red 1 starts the pull up, it's about 4G here. Now the smoke you see is provided by diesel, regular road diesel, the same kind of diesel you have in your car. Oh, we haven't stolen your actual diesel, don't worry. And it's injected into the engine exhaust and makes that smoke trail. And of course we dye the diesel red and blue to achieve those colours. So a mile above us is Enid all together for the vertical brake. So red 1 calls for the brake and they split very gracefully. Now even though they're separated, they're all still staring across at red 1, cross-checking their altimeters to make you can tell why. This is called the corkscrew. Sorry, that's the very enthusiastic voice of red 9, Dane Sennett on Cupid, telling red 6 he's complete with... Okay, normally the even numbered aircraft fly on the right-hand side of the display, and the odd numbers fly on the left, but they're the other way around at the moment. We've got 3 and 5 on the right, 2 and 4 on the left, so we need to swap them back. So this is the clever part of this manoeuvre. And that cross there gives it its name, the slalom. And believe me, for them to cross through line of sight, complete for you the slalom. Okay, so the next manoeuvre takes place out to the front, probably between the two ships. You're looking for Jippo who are running in towards us. First you'll see their headlights and then shortly their smoke. There they are, 8 and 9 are rolling round 6 and 7. The synchro pair roll, this is the amazing Jippo brake. I must have seen that 500 times now. But he's in his third year in the team this year, the synchro leader, and making a great job on this manoeuvre. will roll. So the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that the air brake... Technically, this is an extremely difficult manoeuvre to fly in practice. But certainly one of the funniest pilots on the team, former Harrier pilot with operational service in Afghanistan under his belt, also a former flying instructor as well. This is the opposite barrel roll. One to five with 8 and 9 running in now for the Vixen break. Here they are on the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, putting the Union flag above Bournemouth, the very British Red Arrows. Well, that's the end of our display here at Bournemouth today. You may or may not have been aware, I was really struggling with my radios there to speak to the team. Hope it didn't spoil what I was saying and you could understand what was going on. You can see the pilots rejoining out to the front there. Red 1 has its smoke on. That's to allow all the other pilots to easily find him and safely join aboard. Because as you can see, they're coming in from all angles. On the left, with his smoke on, Red 6, Monty, with his smoke on to allow Red 7, who's coming from the right, to join. Very shortly, they'll be landing back at Bournemouth Airport, where the Blades are just getting airborne. All former Red Arrows pilots.